Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. We are from group 9 with me, Helena Heredita Prasanti, and my two friends, Rozan, Nawal, Jamil, and Anjian Rizky W. Today, we're going to discuss about understanding learning difficulties in language education, types, causes, impacts, and instructional strategies. In today's education context, it is important to recognize that every student learns in different ways and at different paces. Some students may experience certain learning difficulties that affect their ability to acquire academic skill effectively. These difficulties are not related to intelligence, but rather to differences in cognitive processing. In language learning, these challenges often appear in skills such as reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Because of this, teachers need to understand the nature of learning difficulties in order to provide appropriate support. Therefore, the study aims to explore the different types of learning difficulties, their influencing factor, their effects on students, and effective teaching approaches, especially in language learning environments. Learning difficulties refer to conditions that make it harder for students to acquire, process, or use academic skills compared to their peers. These difficulties can affect different areas of learning, especially in academic settings. Students with learning difficulties often show challenges in processing information, remembering lessons, maintaining attention, and completing academic tasks. They may also experience slower learning progress compared to other students in the classroom. However, it is important to emphasize that learning difficulties are not a sign of low intelligence. In fact, many students with learning difficulties have average or even above average intelligence. They simply require different learning approaches and additional support to reach their full potential. There are several common types of learning difficulties that are often identified in students. The first is dyslexia, which affects a student's ability to read and understand written text. Students with dyslexia often struggle with words recognition, spelling, and reading fluency. The second is dysgraphia, which is related to writing difficulties. Students with dysgraphia may have poor handwriting, struggle with spelling, and find it difficult to organize their ideas in written form. The third is dyscalculia, which affect understanding of numbers and mathematical concepts. Students with this condition may find it difficult to perform calculations, understand number relationships, and or solve mathematical problems. Each of these conditions requires specific teaching strategies to help students overcome their learning challenges effectively.
So the next is the problem faced by students with the disability of dyslexia. There's the point that I will explain about. The first is reading difficulties. So in the reading difficulties, student may read slowly, make frequent errors, and have difficult understanding to text. So in the writing difficulties, there are students may misspell words, reverse letters, or organize written ideas poorly. So this is the big impact to the academic. So and the next is the learning challenge. It's like reading difficulties can affect the science, mathematics, words problem, and social studies, and learn of the foreign language. So the next point is the emotional impact. So many individuals experience frustration, anxiety, and reduce confidence, fear of reading loud, and can re- by this action can repeating the academic struggle negatively affect to self-esteem. So the next point is on the social impact. In the social impact, students may avoiding reading activities, feel different from peers, participate less in the classroom discussion. So on the last point is the long-term impact. So without support, the dyslexia may influence educational achievement, career opportunities, and lifelong reading habits. So people with the dyslexia is needed to treat very well to be a success in the future. So the next is the problem faced by students with the disabilities of dysgraphia. So there's the point that I will explain about. That's the first is the handwriting difficulties. So students might write slowly, produce illegible handwriting, experience hand fatigue, like and spelling problems. In the spelling problem, the student often to omit letter, reverse letter, and misspell common words. The next point is in the written expression challenge. So the students may struggle to organize ideas, write complete sentence, and produce essay and report. So, and as a result, written work may not reflect their actual knowledge because there is the dysgraphia disabilities in he or she. So the next is the emotional impact. So the many students like in the dysgraphia disabilities, it's face the experience like frustration, stress, embarrassment, reduce confidence. So they may become discouraged when their written work does not match their understanding. So on the social impact, students may avoiding writing activities, participate less in the classroom text, and feel different from peers. So group assignment is involving extensive writing can be particularly challenging for them. So in the long-term impact, without the appropriate support, dyscalculia can affect the academic achievement, test performance, and carrying tests that require writing communication. So the next is the problem faced by students with the dyscalculia disabilities. So in the daily life impact, in the mathematics is used in many different situations in the everyday section. So the individually with the dyscalculia makes struggle with the first is the time management like reading clock, understanding schedule, and estimating time. So the next is the money management like calculating change, budgeting expense, and understanding discount. So the next one is on the measurement. So like following recipe and estimating distance and understanding quantities. So this can affect the daily life of the people with the dyscalculia itself. So the next point is on the emotional impact. So people with the dyscalculia individual experience like the mathematic anxiety, frustration, low self-confidence, fears of math-related activities. So if these repeated difficulties can lead students to avoid mathematics wherever possible. So this is not good for the people who have the dyslexia that have the problem with that. So it may seem need to help to understand in the future. So your future it's gonna be good enough. So the next is on the point is the social and career impact. So Mathematical talents may affect the academic opportunities, career choice, and daily independence. So that's it.
Okay, now I would like to explain the solution and the implementation of learning difficulties in the school. First, there are several solutions that can help students with learning difficulties. The first solution is early identification. Teachers need to recognize learning difficulties as early as possible through observation and assessment. Early identification allows students to receive support before the difficulties negative of their academic performance. The second solution is differentiated instruction. This means teachers adapt their teaching methods according to student what student need and learning abilities. Since every student learn differently, flexible teaching strategies can help students understand and listen more effectively. The third solution is the use of technology. Educational applications like videos, audio materials, and interactive learning tools can make learning more engaging and accessible for students who face learning challenges. The fourth solution is individual support. The student may need to additional assistance such as tutoring, counseling, or extra guidance from teachers to help them overcome specific learning difficulties. The final solution is creating an inclusive learning environment. Schools should ensure that all students feel respected and supported, included regardless of their learning abilities. Now I will explain how this solution can be implemented in school. Teachers can modify a lesson plan and teaching approaches based on what student need. They may also provide extra time for assignment and examination when necessary. Schools can use various learning resources such as visual aids, videos, and interactive activities to support different learning styles. Collaboration is also important. Teachers, parents, counselors, and specialists should work together to provide consistent support for the student. In addition, school can offer support programs such as remedial classes, peer tutorial, peer tutoring, and counseling service to help students improve their academic performance and confidence.
So the conclusion of this is the people with a problem like dyslexia, dysgraphia, and dyscalculia can be overcome with special treatment. People with those disabled can be success through the provision of adequate facilities and the school's understanding of them. With the disabilities itself, they can be identified early and given treatment that suits their needs. The school also can provide to help the students in needs by modify lesson plan, provide extra time to teach people with disabilities like like that. So the school can also provide learning resources that's suitable and make collaboration with teachers, parents, and specialists. By this specific action, people who have disabilities can be success in the future like normal people. So I think that's all for our presentation. Thank you very much for listening to us and see you next time.